To live at lunch here from Doe's Eat Place on Government Street at Mid-City. Charles Hanniger along with Jimmy Odd, Max Gotro, Jordan Kitchens back in the studio. Thank you for being with us today. Kind of a little bit of overcast day here in Baton Rouge, but we're glad that you're with us. Andy Isco with us at the bottom of the hour, get his take on the Final Four. Also, first class, second class, no class. We do that every Tuesday. We've got college basketball. And college basketball yesterday afternoon. It was a kind of a strange thing to see. I liked it. Look, I
understand.
Give me some more college basketball.
I think it's a little bit niche, but for the college basketball enthusiasts, they are. Hey, I like it. It's bowl games. You got some opt-outs. The one thing you have a little bit of some money to dangle at them. But both of the starting backcourt for Washington State was out last night. Boise State's all their starting five is playing. They're the team that just missed out. So you got some moving parts there. But the biggest moving parts were, the sports books that either were taking the action, not taken, or were taken and forced to void because of some jurisdiction.
This is you got this story. This is sort of bizarre that they didn't have this worked out before. But go ahead and explain what happened yesterday. Because I didn't.
I don't. They're still trying to figure out exactly what the jurisdiction. But it's not NCAA sanctioned. So they apparently they don't have this event cleared, and so they had to go outside and clear it first. Some were done by states, but it's mostly been done by books. Every sports book in Las Vegas is taking it. Now we've learned to understand that the difference between the Nevada Sports Gaming Commission and then every other state is a lot different. Nevada is not allowing FanDuel, DraftKings, mobile sites, Bet Rivers, not BetMGM. BetMGM's all over the BetMGM properties.
Yeah,
at the MGM, the Bellagio, or the Aria, all that. But so they were available on the menu Sunday night, and then Monday morning they started taking them off. So DraftKings could not, FanDuel could not. They take them up BetMGM. Those who made bets earlier were voided. Caesars and Bet Rivers still had them available last night. Today, only Bet Rivers is available. Now, I haven't checked Bet365. ESPN Bet is not available. I forget who else we have in this state.
MGM?
BetMGM, no. I said FanDuel, DraftKings, okay. BetMGM.
Done.
Fanatics has it. No, you don't know. Max is checking. I made my plays earlier this morning and hoping that they stay, but it's I heard Johnny Avello talked about it. Some people, the people in Las Vegas were surprised because
this event's been on the books for a long time.
No. The people in Las Vegas were surprised. Like my friends, like humans and them, were surprised that because it was available everywhere to them. Yeah. So, but they quickly were alerted by a lot of their,
like I said, this was not a big surprise. They didn't up and schedule this tournament a week ago.
I knew the field a long time ago. I know the guy, Ron Ritchie, who is basically the event coordinator at the MGM Garden. And, he's been telling me about this when we visited in
the December tournament went off without a hitch, right? The one that the paper play went off without.
Yes.
So I'm curious how they didn't have this cleared.
And not super crowds, but all the games were up and up. The covers came down to the very end. Last possessions.
So much for my rust theory for these teams that haven't played in 3 weeks. All 4 games went over the total. There was no problem.
Oh, you're looking for them to be rusty with their shooting. I think
offensive execution.
I think it's more, Charlie, of that they're not exactly grinding on defense.
Yes.
So it's a little bit looser feel. This is a minor bowl game. This is supposed to be a little bit more of a reward.
Yeah,
especially for the players.
You go to Vegas and I send them to Tulsa.
Yes, and then the longer they play, they win. The longer they stay. Now, if you enjoy yourself too much, there's balance. That's life, Charlie. Balance is key.
Yes.
From your your financial portfolio to your social life.
In
Balance,
all things,
to
moderation.
your marriage, Charlie. Balance.
In all
okay?
things,
Everything.
moderation. I got it.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes.
No, I thought that there would be a little bit of rust. Nebraska, for instance, hadn't played a game since March 9th.
No, they were rusty in the
Okay,
first
they
half.
didn't even play in the Big Ten tournament.
No, I know, but
So-
when they showed it in the first half,
and not in the second half. I
well, it took
abandoned
them a half to kind of get going, and then they 0.7 foul called, 6-point game with the ball of the game on the number. It was a one of those ticky-tack fouls. Is we complain we're on the wrong side of it. I was on the right side of it. Most places closed at 6. There was some 5 and a maybe. Well, there was only so many, but there was 5.5 available at one point. But 6 is when I put it out at Otter Locks, and we sunk the 2 free throws to take that. So.
After the 88-point first half in game 1, I abandoned the under theory. Like, oh, they might be no. They're not playing defense. We almost had 100-point half in the Nebraska-Arizona State game in the second half. I think
is that Matson's kid that plays for Utah? Mark Madsen, who's now the coach he's going from Cal to.
I'm not sure. Possibly.
Speaking of San Antonio Final Fours, I saw him get 20 rebounds in the overtime semifinal loss to Kentucky.
Yeah,
that was right. That was sitting right next to the Stanford student section. I saw Freddie Savage throwing his groceries up. He was a little overindulged. He's Stanford alone.
Oh, well, I mean,
yeah. I mean, he
party
was,
school, right?
Well, no, he was a little excited to be at the Final Four with Stanford. He was throwing his guts up. Yeah, come on, Freddie. Act like you've been there. So
maybe we do this all again today.
Wonder years. Maybe he's still upset about winning. Ghosting him.
Listen, we all took that hard when Kevin and Winnie didn't. We got 4 more games today.
The other side of the bracket.
Are they going to fix all this by 2:00 today? Or
I don't think so.
No,
I don't. I don't think so. I don't get that feeling. Yeah, it's still Bet Rivers is the only one in the state that has them available.
Okay,
so yeah, yeah.
Carry on with it, if you will. Then the Crown. See, I was thinking that almost everybody would stick around and play. Let's see if you follow me on this, okay? If you are a player and your regular season ended and you didn't go to the NCAA tournament, you get in this tournament, all right? You got to hang around for about 3. If you don't have,
you can enter the transfer portal and still.
yeah,
they may bail on you. I mean, so yeah, I mean, it's just similar type of deal.
Other piece of news this morning is we were waiting to see what they would vote on the tush push and whether it be banned. They decided to table that till at least next month. I thought Booger McFarland had the best take on this morning. He said, "Oh, you guys don't have the votes yet, so you're just going to push this down the road until you can convince enough people." They would have. I think this is my read. If they would have had the votes, they would have voted on this morning, and because they didn't, or because it was up in the air, they decided to push this along. I don't know that they're going to get the votes. You saw. Just as they predicted, all of the Eagles guys and ex-Eagles guys, including Kellen Moore, who talked yesterday, hey, we're all for this, and nobody else is using this with the frequency of the Eagles. The Bills use it a good bit, but not nearly what Philadelphia does, and nobody else does. So it does not have it doesn't have the support to get it out right now. My problem with the whole thing, I think, Jimmy's the same as yours, which is not the Eagles' success rate. It's that this doesn't look like a football play to us. This was against the rules
Is
for
it entertaining?
no.
No.
But not
Well,
everything is
how can
entertaining. A quarterback sneak's not terribly entertaining, but it's a legal play.
Yeah,
Okay.
but it's also it's unpredictable. You don't know who's going for a quarterback sneak and who's actually running a play. I mean, you know the Eagles what they're running every time, and I mean, I'm floored that more teams can't execute this. I understand that Jalen Hurts with the his lower body strength and his squat numbers. I get it, freakish, all right, but it's not just him. I mean, they're just
No.
they're driving him. You know, I mean, it's just
A quarterback sneak,
and
he could execute this play without anybody pushing him.
Did Chris Jones? I mean, that injury, no, that's not factored into this. That's kind of a big deal, huh?
What they're
He's kind of
saying
an
is
important
that the
piece.
the injury data does not support that this is an overly dangerous play. I'm not saying nobody ever gets hurt.
I'll be fair there because I thought that this was definitely going to have more injuries
I
than
kept
what we
waiting for somebody to pull on Hurts' ankle, or to twist his ankle, or to pull his neck, or
Well,
something
you
like
kind of
that. I
seeing
mean,
defenses just kind of give up.
they know that they can't stop him
Right.
from
I mean,
for less than a
so you want
yard.
to go get hurt? And, I mean,
Again, the Eagles' success is not if they took the tush push out and the Eagles just ran a straight quarterback sneak, okay, on 3rd down and 1, and let Hurts push himself, they'd still probably convert about 80% of the time. He's that strong, and that I know Kelsey's gone, but the interior of that line is still pretty good. I got no problem with that. My problem is with the pushing of it. You can't pull guys. You can't pick guys up and throw them. You can't use guys for leverage. I mean, think about the leverage rule on placement. You can't jump on top of somebody. To me, this is using somebody else's body almost as a prop. That's my objection to the play.
so 2005 is when they abolished the abating or aiding the runner
Yeah.
rule. I mean, now you listen to some people argue their points on this and calling it sour grapes and stuff. I mean, this was a I don't know why it was why they got rid of it anyway.
I
I mean,
don't
it was
even
kind of
remember them
secret.
changing the rule.
Yeah,
Do you?
it was very secret. No, Charlie, it took me years. Like okay, I
That's
guess
not still against the rules.
yes. Because I mean, what year was the Bush push? 2004.
It would have been 3 or 4, one of those 2 years. I mean,
I doubt it was 3 because the 3 they didn't have a scare in Notre Dame, did they?
no, that was the year they lost to Oregon State in the fog. It must have been 4.
Yeah.
It must have been 4. Um,
I mean, Bush and Leinart were there one more year after 03, right?
They were there 2 more years. They
2
played
more
in
years. Okay.
they
Okay.
played
So
in the 5 game
it's
against
probably
Texas.
04.
Yeah.
Because it was part of it continued their winning streak.
Whatever you
That's why they said because it was illegal, they got away with it, and and I saw this year because he's telling me right now, trying to get approvals in certain jurisdictions.
Oh,
So
wow. Okay.
he's still there.
Retirement isn't the end of the trek, it's a new beginning. Stop by your local Edward Jones advisor. Tex Morris on Jefferson. Edward Jones, member SIPC. The Grand Bayou Casino, conveniently located off I-10 at exit 139 in Gross-Ted, offers the latest video poker machines 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Got a great staff at the Grand Bayou Casino. Our inviting staff will greet you with complimentary coffee and sodas as you enjoy listening to the curated tunes in our comfortable seating. Make the trip to the Grand Bayou Casino, where players are welcome. The Grand Bayou Casino, I-10 at the Gross-Ted exit. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, call 1-877-770-STOP. The Grand Bayou Casino.
This is Charles Hanniger for Coastal Capital Advisors. When it comes to retirement, no two situations are alike. So Coastal Capital Advisors will tailor a plan for your family's needs, no matter your age or your financial situation. The bottom line is Coastal Capital Advisors will work with you and build a lifetime relationship. I know, because they work for me. For more information, contact Philip Fontenot and his staff at 337-981-1376 or online at coastalcapitaladv.com. Advisory services provided by New Age Advisors, LLC, doing business as Coastal Capital Advisors as a registered investment advisor. Securities offered through New Age Securities, Inc., member FINRA, SIPC.
Baseball and softball players of all levels get the competitive edge you've been looking for at Total Diamond Performance. Do the same lessons, camps, classes, and clinics used by top college and MLB organizations. Everything from mental performance, in-game video and data analysis to improve pitching, throwing velocity, bat speed, and fielding. Total Diamond Performance is tailored around the individual player to build strength and athleticism while also cleaning up mechanical deficiencies. Matt Mastretta applies what he's learned working in player development with college and MLB teams. Total Diamond Performance, 931-3730. That's 931-3730.
Hey guys, this is Todd from Rebel Heating and Air. Your heating and air conditioning system requires essential cleaning and care to ensure efficient and safe operation. Call Rebel today and schedule an appointment. That's Rebel Heating and Air, 929-8944. And remember, the bitter taste of a poor installation will remain much longer than the sweet taste of that lowest price. Call us today, 929-8944. That's Rebel Heating and Air, 929-8944. Or go to rebelheatingandair.com.
We're here to examine things that get better with age, like this bottle of Chateau Lafite Rothschild, vintage 1877. Age can make things more valuable, like this Picasso from his Blue Period, 1904. And treasured, like this Roto-Rooter jingle, 1954.
Roto-Rooter jingle?
Just listen to it.
Oh, Roto-Rooter, that's the name. And away go troubles down the drain. Roto-Rooter.
The timeless melody.
Roto-Rooter?
The lithe arrangement.
But it's a clog-busting company.
Wrong there. Roto-Rooter has...
Jordan, can you send me a copy or a script, an email, a text, anything, a list of the sponsors that run today?
Yeah, I got you. I'll email it to you. Well, I'll just text it to you. I can text it to you.
Yeah, whichever easiest for you, as long as I have it. I need to do that this week. So
okay, I got you right now.
Thank you, buddy.
ALS is a progressive and neurodegenerative disease, and we need your help to find a cure. The mission of the ALS Association, Louisiana-Mississippi chapter, is to discover treatments and a cure for ALS, and to serve, advocate for, and empower people affected by ALS to live their lives to the fullest. Whether you are newly diagnosed, a military veteran, a caregiver, or someone looking to learn more about how to navigate living with ALS, they can help. Visit als.org to learn more. That's als.org.
Live at lunch with Ott and Hanny from Doe's Eat Place on Government Street on 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
And we're also brought to you by Total Maintenance. AC and heating, generators, electricity, plumbing. Total Maintenance, your one-stop shop for all of these things. Since 1980, their slogan has been service today, every day. So you're not going to sleep uncomfortable. Total Maintenance in both New Orleans and Baton Rouge. Authorized dealer for Carrier, American Standard, Daykin, and Rheem AC units, Generac, and Cummings generators. For all of your electrical and plumbing needs as well. In Baton Rouge, it's 480-1000. In New Orleans, 841-3300. Service today, every day at Total Maintenance. LSU men's basketball with a significant add out of the transfer portal. De'Don Thomas, 6'1" point guard out of UNLV. Very good numbers for him. The last 2 years, co-freshman of the year in the Mountain West 2 seasons ago. Last year, he was third team in the Mountain West. He averaged 50.5 points a game, 4.7 assists. His assist turnover ratio was third in the Mountain West. He played 36 minutes a game, and he started all 26 games for UNLV this past season. Double figures in 22 of the games, and he had 20 or more points in 5 games. All of that is very good. This is the type of player that I think you want to add. This gets you moving in the right direction. LSU also got papers from Michael Nwoko from Mississippi State, who was a big for them that started most of the games. Was not a big stat guy. He was a 6'4.5" guy, but he did start almost, I think, all but 2 of the games for Mississippi State. He is a big body on a team that really needs some. He's 6'10", about 250 pounds. What intrigues me about Thomas, in addition to the fact that LSU basketball is, finally moving in a direction that we would be happy about, is that Florida and Kentucky both were involved here. Florida and Kentucky, I don't know what they offered him or how, but those were 2 of the schools that were in there trying to get Deion Thomas at in the transfer portal. If you look at yes, if you look at Kentucky and you look at Florida and you look at LSU's basketball programs, they're right this second. There is no comparison. Okay, in any facet of the game, those 2 programs are leaps and bounds ahead of LSU. So what this tells me is, if he had a choice between the 3 schools and he picked LSU, well, they got involved financially. Finally, okay. I'm sorry. If you pick LSU over, well, they haven't done that in the past. So if you picked LSU over Kentucky and if you picked LSU over Florida, given the current state of their basketball programs, you made a financial commitment. This is what we've been asking for. And listen, you still got a long way to go, but this is a step in the right direction. So I'm glad. Watched a little tape on the guy. I'll be honest with you, Jimmy. I don't think I saw UNLV play a game all year. We've got plenty of guys that watch a lot of UNLV basketball. Wes Reynolds, Matt Humans are on with us every week. We'll get a scouting report from those guys later on in the week about exactly how good he is. But this is 2 players that listen. Nwoko he's a big on a team that needs some. I'm not going to tell you he's a big scorer, he wasn't a big stat guy. All right, but he's an SEC. He's an SEC starter. Okay, you got to start somewhere. Thomas fills a very, very big need for them. Their lack of a point guard was just one of a number of problems for them last year. This is a good step, so I'm happy. We're going to criticize them when they do wrong. I'm going to give them credit. This is a step in the right direction.
Yeah, he's Charlie. He's got he just finished his 2nd year in college, 2-year player, and statistically, I've seen him play a handful of times this year. He didn't stand out to me. UNLV was not great. I mean, the coach got fired.
Yeah.
They spotty. They pulled off an upset here or there, and then they beat San Diego State at home in the regular season, but then they go and lose like to Air Force. So his first year he averaged 13.6 a game with a 5.1 to 2.2 assist to turnover ratio. So roughly 2.5 to 1. Not bad for a freshman.
It was 3rd in the Mountain West this year. That was the 3rd best assist to turnover ratio in the Mountain West.
That was his freshman year. This past year, his assist to turnover ratio was 4.7 to 1.9.
That's the one that's 3rd in Mountain West. Sorry.
They're roughly the same. I mean, he went slightly down. Players that the Floridas, the Auburn, that they're seeing making contributions on other teams. There's no doubt. There's a reason why. consistently produce the most. I mean, the most at large teams.
I got no problem with you saying it the sixth best league. Yeah, that's
I mean,
fair. That's fair.
I mean, the A10 is not quite what you use Missouri Valley Conference.
No.
You know, this is the better league. It's a better league. So he fits the profile of a real contributor for some real successful teams. Now, will he have enough pieces around him? You know, I can't. He just didn't stand out to me, Charlie. He's a he was there. Field goal percentage. He went down because he was probably looking to shoot more. From 50% to 45% from his freshman to sophomore year. His 3-point percentage is from 36% to 35%. That's fine. The kid that can't miss for Duke right now shot low to mid 30s.
Yeah.
Before this past year, so he's got a he's and look. The other people, the other programs we're interested in, that's a good sign. It's about damn time.
Yeah, you're at least building something. This is a player that Kentucky and Florida were interested in. In Wilco from Mississippi State, he was a starter on a tournament team. You getting Jalen Reed back. I think he was going to have a good season. Now he's got to come back from this injury, but that's you are moving. You're finally moving in the right direction. You're not stagnant. You're not ignoring the problem. Okay, you're not signing guys that were token players on average teams, which is what they've done a lot of. I'm sorry, but you brought guys in here who are just not capable of playing at a high level in the Southeastern Conference. These guys we know can play. All right, you need more of them. But this is a good start. So good job, Deion Thomas coming to Baton Rouge. You got a point guard.
Deion Thomas alone is not going to make it.
No.
Roster,
Rome wasn't built in a day. I didn't expect them to sign 5 guys on the first day. So, like I said, give them credit when they do something right. This is something right.
Don't forget our friends at K&M Automotive on Segan Lane. Segan at Perkins across Segan from Ambrosia Bakery. It's the only place I take my vehicle. 7:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Monday through Friday. Pretty much everything that you go wrong. That engine light comes on. I mean, you don't know what's going on. Bring it over to my buddy Jason Payne at K&M Automotive. He's got a lot of repeat customers. He's busy, but he will make time. And if it's not convenient when you first bring it in, they'll set up a time when it's more convenient. But the bottom line is the number one priority when you're trying to bring your car to be serviced, you want to get an honest deal, a fair shake. You've heard the horror stories about getting upcharged for unnecessary work. You paid what for what? That kind of story. Not going to happen at K&M Automotive. That's right. Tell them that you heard it right here, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge. Jason Payne, K&M Automotive, Segan and Perkins, across Segan from Ambrosia Bakery.
Live at Doe's, live at lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch. This hour of Live at Lunch with Ott and Hanny is brought to you by Dana Brown at the law offices of O.C. Brown, 343-1111 and ocbrown.com. Roto-Rooter for all your plumbing needs, 925-8710. Supreme Rice, grown, milled, processed in Louisiana since 1936. United Community Bank, the local way to bank big. Tex Morris at Edward Jones Investments on Jefferson Highway, 928-8659. Total Maintenance, your one-stop shop for AC, electrical, generators, and plumbing. Service today, every day for Total Maintenance. And Coastal Capital Advisors. Markets evolve. We adapt. The Live at Lunch with Ott and Hanny Restaurant Club. Sammy's Grill on Highland Road. A hometown favorite for tailgating and watching LSU games since 1988. Louisiana Lanyap on Perkins and Blue Bonnet. Winner of the most 225's Best of Awards. Snow Seafood and Steak for over 50 years on Airline, Highway, and Highway 74 in Gonzales. Dozy Place for hand-cut steaks on Government Street and Mid-City. Louis Cafe, a Baton Rouge landmark since 1941. Just outside the north gates of LSU. Fin Bomb, sushi, burrito, poke, ramen at Burbank and Lee. And Phil's Oyster Bar since 1950 on Government Street and now in the South Downs Shopping Center.
Workbox can handle all of your movable storage needs, commercial and residential. Our shipping containers come in various sizes, 8x8, 8x10, 8x20, or even 8x40 feet. Not just one size. These units can be customized for any use. Custom whatever you need. Give my buddy Martine Padial at Workbox a call at 343-4886, 343-4886, and workboxllc.com. Sammy's Grill on Highland Road since 1988. A home 5 p.m., weekends at noon. Sammy serves a wide mix of authentic Louisiana food prepared to order with the best ingredients available. Fresh Louisiana seafood, Cajun favorites, burgers, and po' boys, all built from scratch. Our kids' menu and popular appetizers are sure to Snow Seafood and Steaks celebrating its 50th anniversary. That's right, since 1971, Snow's has been serving a wide assortment of menu items to please everyone. Steaks, seafood, gumbo, homemade soup, salad. Snow's Seafood and Steak, Airline Highway at Highway 74 in Gonzales. By now, you know that we do our show every other Tuesday at the Crown Town Room at Dozy Place. The Crown Town Room is ideal for larger groups, or if you just want to watch the game on one of our 3 large TVs. The tamales are the most popular appetizer, but don't forget the porterhouse is the perfect steak to share. Strip on one side, fillet on the other, prepared at different temps if you like, bone in to maximize flavor. Dozy Place on Government Street, just off Acadian in the heart of Mid-City.
This is Charles Haniger for Total Maintenance. Now is the time to get your central air conditioner. Right now, mention my name or Jimmy Ott and get $100 off that service. Down from $179 to $79. Call Total Maintenance for generators, electricity, and plumbing issues. In Baton Rouge, 480-1000, and in New Orleans,
Doors with Don Dubuque. Saturday mornings at 5 on 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge. Andy Isco.
Andy joining us from Las Vegas right now. Andy, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing well. It's unbelievable how quickly this NCAA tournament goes by.
I know. Chalk. Because there's a lot of dog or pass players that have, hey man, we're tired of fighting it. We're going to back Duke. We're going to back Duke against the spread. We're going to back these favorites in the money line. But since straight up, and so
it's like 12 or 13 in a row, something like that.
Yeah. So I mean, they won to 12 Thursday through Sunday, so we know that. And I guess late that night.
Yeah, it was for 12 games.
Arizona and Oregon, and you had Michigan State and New
Mexico.
Mexico.
Most of those teams have covered as favorites as well.
Yeah. So anyway, but any thoughts on it? Are you looking
Yeah, I played that the other day. I have Houston as a future also. That's at like 7 or 8 to 1. I forget what it was. But the point of all this is that it's the fact that have been relatively low point spreads for the most part, and you're talking about 3 seeds, beating 4 seeds or 1 seed beating 2 seeds. It's not like you're talking about a 3 seed beating a 6 seed or something where there's a difference in the seeding. So the fact that we have more unique than I guess the other unique thing is that the only other time all 4 number 1 seeds made it was when the finals were in San Antonio. Not that has any connection, because we've had seeding since 1979. my bracket was concerned, I had 2 1s and 2 2s. The 2 1s I had were I think I had Duke and I think Houston, and I think I had St. John's. I may have had Michigan. This team, of all the teams in the field, they allowed under 59 points per game, which is fantastic. The only problem is the second best team in the field was Duke, allowing barely 61, 62 points per game. So the advantage. When I did my recomputation after the final, the Elite Eight, I have Houston and Duke as the top 2 teams in the field, and I would have them 3 to 4 points over either Florida or Auburn, and they're playing each other. So it's difficult not to like Duke. I understand all the money coming in on Duke, and it's a question of at what point do I want to consider getting involved with Houston. Maybe if the line goes up to 6, and we may see that on Saturday.
What are you seeing, 7 or 8 to 1 on Auburn? Those odds were half that, short before they won 4 games in a tournament. I mean, it's been something. So, of course, all eyes on Janai Broome. Let me ask you: we've been talking about this transfer. You being in Las Vegas, a local kid out of Liberty High School in Las Vegas who stayed home to play at UNLV, 4-star athlete who was recruited by the likes of Arizona, Houston, Florida, and UCLA, but stayed home to UNLV. D-Dan Thomas is transferring to LSU. How much do you know about his game?
I can't comment necessarily because it's not an area of my expertise as far as what he can and can't do, other than what other people have said. But he was basically a team leader before he got injured, and he was one of the guys that was expected to be the go-to player on the team. There's been a lot. I know he was highly recruited. He ended up staying at UNLV, and of course with the coaching change at UNLV, which was not all that much of a surprise. I mean, Kevin Kruger had 4 years and couldn't get him into the tournament. 4 years generally means that you've basically had an opportunity to recruit in an entire senior class at most levels. So a change was made as far as the new coach Passner coming in. He's had a decent track record. So I think LSU's getting a good player, and it's just a question of how he fits in with the current roster, or what will be the 25-26 roster.
And we'll ask, Matt Humans and Wes Reynolds later. I know Matt.
Those guys have a much better.
Yeah, Matt. Used to be the beat writer for UNLV for the Las Vegas Review-Journal, and goes to a lot of Mountain West Conference games. Bruce Marshall, as well. In Las Vegas with a lot of games, but. We'll get a breakdown on him. I do know this, that those guys that handicap the Mountain West Conference very closely, like them, him being in and out of the lineup, like you referred to, was a major factor of their handicapping. So, I mean, a starting point guard for anybody, should be.
Yeah.
But I do remember that they were talking about that. That was toward the latter part of the year, no doubt. Hey, man, so far, I mean, torpedo bats or not, or whatever. It's not just the torpedo bats, but they these a lot of overs in these games because it's supposed to be cold. The bats, it's the pitching's ahead of the hitting a little bit. It hasn't been the case. It's been over heavy for the start of the Major League Baseball season.
Yeah, it has. In fact, I was looking at the game last night because I wanted to find out exactly how things were going to look in that Sacramento ballpark where the Athletics are going to call home this year. And you take a look at the field. There's not a lot of foul territory once you get back behind third base. So I think that we could see a lot of high-scoring games, not just based on last night, but just based upon the dimensions of the ballpark. So that's something to keep an eye on, and we might start to see, up there in the 9.5s and 10s before too long. I see tonight's game. You got Steele and Severino going, and the total is pretty much at an 8. And of course, that's where they play. I mean, even if it's just for a couple of years, but nonetheless, the Athletics have gotten off to a pretty decent start so far this season compared to what a lot of the expectations were. In fact, and of course, it's early, but you take a look at beginning of the season when everybody's still trying to find their stroke and everything or find their arms, it's a lot more even than it gets once you get into May, June, July, etc.
Forgive me.
Not really.
They weren't.
No.
I didn't hear anything about them until the Yankees exploded. I'm looking at Ellie De La Cruz last night for Cincinnati. Used it for the first time. Did not use it in the first 4 games of the season.
Hit a home run, huh?
He went 4 for 4 with 7 ribbies. Okay. Yeah. He had a single, a double, and 2 home runs and drove in a career high 7. Did Ellie De La Cruz, who is a phenomenal player, just, hey, wait a minute. Look at these bats. I'll try this tonight and I'll drive in 7 runs.
No, they can't make them fast
I
enough.
think
for everybody except Judge.
Theory, the whole theory behind the torpedo. We expect to see more of that, and a little bit behind the scenes, I'm sure Major League Baseball is smiling.
Parameters. It's not where the most of that weight goes.
The end of it looks like a
Yeah. So I mean, it's look, everything. Now to I know over little mini Coors feel, huh, Andy?
Will now arguably be the ace of the Atlanta staff. Or if it's a low-scoring game, that not that the odds makers, but the bettors have actually done because they've moved it down from 8 to 7.5.
I'm not playing contrarian with the Dodgers. Dang good. I don't care how small of a sample size.
It's small. But Padres, they might be favorites to win the other 2 divisions if they weren't in behind the Dodgers. That's a very nice roster.
I love the way they're playing, man. Merrill is picked up right where he was off after his great rookie season. It looks like Machado and Tatis are dialed in. This guy, this left-handed hitter, what's his name? The big, kind of a big guy. He's smashing the ball. Oh, he got caught trying to stretch a single into a double last night. He's batting like 5th or 6th for them right now. But they, Xander Bogaerts is a nice piece. They have a nice. I agree with you, Andy. That lineup looks good, and they're capable. They lost a starter or two, a key starter, but like Snell. But man, they look like everybody was writing them off. They're moving up, but that lineup is popping right now, no doubt about that. Andy, great stuff as always. We appreciate it, sir. Good luck to whoever you have this weekend in the Final Four. We'll talk to you next week.
I need the winner of Saturday to win on Monday.
There you go. All right. There we go. Easy enough.
Enjoy it, guys. Thank you.
All right. Follow Andy on Twitter at VegasAndy711. If your neighborhood requires wood windows like mine, you got to do like I did and call the friends over at Relief Windows. I wish I had called Relief Windows with the original construction of my home, but after these extreme South Louisiana weather conditions, it took its toll on my wood windows. So how can you get some that we're going to last but look great? Well, the wood windows at Relief Windows, they do exactly that. Against rotten termites, providing you great beauty and also minimal maintenance. And they
The new go-to pizza joint in downtown Bayou.
Cage, he's still.
through different people's hands, the
$2:30 to $6:30, 7 days a week. Plus $5 margaritas all day, all night on Wednesdays. Great spot to bring the baseball.
Steak, seafood, and Italian-inspired restaurant that focuses on the celebration of life, regardless of the occasion. Whether it's the food they serve or the service they provide, their goal is to ensure a remarkable experience for their guests that is always remembered. To view our menu, visit Ruffino'sRestaurant.com. Rufino's, where Louisiana comes to celebrate life.
Now, everybody's been to Louis Cafe by campus. Heck, it's been around since over 80 years now. We're still doing delicious omelets like the Mitchell, cheesy grits, Big Cheesy Lou, and those Louis' original Cajun hash browns. We now offer a pickup window. Just call in your order at 346-8221. Give us 15 or 20 minutes, and we'll have it ready for you. Our hours are now 6:30 a.m. to 2:30 p.m., 7 days a week. So next time you visit campus, make it a point to stop by and visit an old friend. Louis Cafe, just outside the north gates of LSU.
This is Charles Hanniger for Coastal Capital Advisors, your full-service financial planners. When it comes to retirement, there are no two situations alike. So Coastal Capital Advisors will work with you, your business partners, your legal team, and tax professionals to make sure those goals are achieved. Coastal Capital Advisors will work for you. I know, because they work for me. For more information, contact Philip Fontenot and his great staff at 337-981-1376 or online at coastalcapitaladv.com. Advisory services provided by New Age Advisors, LLC, doing business as Coastal Capital Advisors as a registered investment advisor. Securities offered through New Edge Securities, Inc., member FINRA, SIPC.
Call the Lucky Law Firm if you've been in a wreck in Baton Rouge or anywhere in Louisiana. It's easy to get help. Call 866-9-LUCKY-1. Get lucky today.
I'm attorney Robert Lucky. If you've been in a wreck or have suffered any personal injury, call 866-9-LUCKY-1 today.
Paid non-client announcer. Responsible attorneys Robert M. Lucky and Michael T. Malinowski Jr. Primary office in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. File number 2213183.
Call 866-9-LUCKY-1. Call the Lucky Law Firm.
Running a business can be difficult enough without the right relationship with your bank. With United Community Bank's local business bankers, you're not just a number, you're a partner. Contact Heath Meir, Nicole Glover, Hunter Creed, David Campbell, or David Henry to discuss how we can help your business today. United Community Bank, the local way to bank big. Locations from Baton Rouge to Golden Meadow. We've been serving the people of Southern Louisiana for over 60 years. United Community Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Live at lunch with Ott and Hanny from Doe's Eat Place on Government Street on 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
LSU baseball in action tonight against Louisiana Tech. Bulldogs are 17-11, 6:30 from the box tonight. LSU at 26-3 overall, their best record at this point in the season since 2013. 7-2 record in the conference is their best record through 9 games since 2013. LSU number 1 in the SEC and number 3 in the nation in batting average at .338. Lead the SEC in hits. Number 4 in the nation in hits. Lead the SEC in doubles. Number 2 in the SEC. Number 3 in the nation in on-base percentage. And the pitching staff, number 1 in the SEC in total strikeouts. They're missing plenty of bats. They're also walking too many people, but they're missing plenty of bats. They're number 5 in the nation in strikeouts per 9 innings. And I would like to see William Schmidt pitch tonight. Did not pitch in the games this weekend. Obviously, Jay Johnson holds his plans pretty close to the vest about what he's doing with pitching. But I imagine we will see Schmidt tonight, since we saw we saw Jaden Newt finish up the game on Saturday night, or Sunday morning as it was. Newt has been the midweek pitcher of choice last couple of weeks. So we'll see if Schmidt starts tonight, if he comes in relief. But obviously I think they're ready to get him back out on the mound. They got a Thursday, Friday, Saturday series this weekend with Oklahoma. So you got one less day to work with. Probably chop up the game pretty good tonight. Bulldogs are 17-11, 4-2 in Coosa. They opened up conference play, winning 2 or 3 games at Sam Houston, and then they won 2 or 3 games against Kennesaw State. So LSU baseball tonight at the box. Max, you pay attention, right, to what happened in the league this past weekend?
Yes, yes.
Florida's still 1-8.
They are bad.
A&M's 1-8.
A&M is bad. Yes.
The preseason number 1 team in the country is 1-8 in league play, and the Florida Gators, some talent on that team.
30,
1-8. So
again, you get a fair test. 5-4 Oklahoma this weekend.
Be a great atmosphere, I'm sure, at that park for LSU's first trip up there. Hour number 2, first class, second class, no class. Straight ahead here from Doe's Eat Place on Government Street in Mid-City, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
If you're near the north side of campus, I need to remind you about a couple of longtime favorites. Highland Coffee's the original specialty coffee shop in Baton Rouge since the 1980s. My personal favorite. Love getting my cappuccino from their friendly, knowledgeable staff, roasted right in the shop. Louis Cafe for breakfast and lunch 7 days a week. The Mitchell omelet, Cajun hash browns, Big Cheesy Lou, all served up in that famous open kitchen atmosphere. In Tigertown since 1941. A couple of great spots. Highland Coffee's and Louis Cafe just outside the north gates of LSU.
Picture your dream bathroom. Got it? How about making it happen with David Duvall and One Bath and Closets? For more than 3 decades, David's been remodeling homes with a concentration on the most popular room in your home, your bathroom. Whether it's a tub to shower conversion or a complete renovation, the great thing about One Bath and Closets is that David handles everything. One company, one contractor, One Bath and Closets. Check out the gallery of his most recent projects and schedule your free in-home consultation online at onebathandclosets.com. That's onebathandclosets.com.
Since the 1930s, Supreme Rice has delighted their customers for all of your favorite South Louisiana dishes. Whether you like the brown, long grain, medium grain, jasmine, or the new parboiled rice, Supreme Rice makes your favorite dishes even better. They even have a healthy low glycemic rice, a great option for diabetics and those who have high insulin resistance. Supreme Rice is proud to be part of the Climate Smart program, which promotes water conservation and reduces methane emissions so future generations of Louisiana farmers can enjoy the same benefits. For more information and great recipes, find them online at supremerice.com.
Get Moss Max and less tax during happy hour at Modesto. Join us Tuesday through Friday, 2 to 6 p.m. for $10 20-ounce margaritas and dip trio with $5 drink specials and $6 seasonal cocktails. Eat Modesto, 3930 Burbank Drive.
Pizza that's true to its hand-tossed wood-fried tradition. Roca Pizzeria is heating up its new half-off happy hour, Monday through Fridays, 3 to 6 p.m. Come enjoy 50% off margarita, pepperoni, or cheese, craft cocktails, wine by the glass, and draft beer. Roca Pizzeria, 3897 Government.
With all of the financial headlines, are you worried if your retirement savings will last? The market's ups and downs can keep you guessing, especially if you're approaching retirement or considering it. If you have more questions and answers about what's next, let's work together to help ensure you're prepared for your journey. After all, retirement isn't the end of the trek, it's a new beginning. Stop by your local Edward Jones advisor. Text Morris on Jefferson. Edward Jones, member SIPC.
Now that it's cooler outside, this is the perfect time of year to get new windows, doors, and siding by calling me, Tommy, from Tommy's Windows, Doors, and Siding. So set up your free quote today at gotommys.com. That's GEAUX, Tommys.com.
Why do billion-dollar insurance companies regularly delay and deny valid claims? Because that's how they got to be billion-dollar insurance companies. If you've been injured, I'd like to help.
Spencer Callahan is the one to see. Call 387-2323.
LA filing number 16-7969.
Louisiana, you've got a new home for coverage of LSU, the New Orleans Saints, and the Southeastern Conference. LouisianaSports.net. LouisianaSports.net. Feature stories, opinion columns, recruiting updates, in-game reports. And it's all free. No paywalls, no annoying pop-up ads.
No class. I'll tell you what then. Why don't you call me sometime when you have no class?
First class, second class, and no class.
But I probably should have caught it anyway. Stephen Milam, of course, Monster Milam for LSU baseball, donated another $400 to the
I mean, you're giving up. That's whenever you give something, you take it something away. Okay, so there's still the athletic budget, concession sales, and NIL budget. So, all right, is this the smartest thing that we're going to take away from my? I want free hot dogs, and I don't care what that the mystery meat, whatever. Give me my free hot dog and my soda, whatever. But I mean, it's I don't know if it's the smartest thing in the world.
I don't know either. I just know that they're giving away free stuff, and nobody.
It's basically a dollar item.
Yeah, it's a throwback menu, throwback costs. For what you get in the dome.
Only thing is Chick-fil-A shut out on Sunday.
Not on Sundays, right?
I mean, but with such an Atlanta presence. Be more of a pro deal, from the greedy owners there for me because Ms. Gale, you paying attention? Do you appreciate your fan base right now?
Raise ticket prices.
I know. Well, you should give them. Everybody, Title IX's great. Well, tell that to the former wrestlers who had a top 10 program that, a lot of places are extinct now, like LSU. I mean, it's just, that's great. You want to give stuff away, but
Carolina, you have to get noticed. Last year, they did this deal where if the men's and women's teams combined won 35 games, that anybody who was a season ticket holder would get a full refund on their tickets. They came up 2 games short, but still,
really?
I mean, that was listen. They're Coastal Carolina. They're not Ohio State. They got to try to get some people's attention.
But they also don't have. But they can afford less to just give away some of their budget than some of the big boys. Is what I'm trying to tell you.
No, you're right.
Okay,
You're right. I mean,
we could do this great thing for our fans, but it is showing. It is showing a level of appreciation for your fans coming to a not so big time pro. It's exactly 21,000, Charlie. So that is their capacity.
Okay, so they're pretty much selling the thing out every.
How about
every
this
week.
one, huh? The original capacity they've expanded was 6,408. This is a babe. This is you talk about the building blocks, and it was COVID, the COVID year that got them.
Yeah,
that got them going. That was the game of the year.
BYU
going to Coastal.
right.
Did it on the fly.
Like
How about?
Oh, you got to
do these schedules 8 years in advance. Oh, yeah.
Send a truck. I remember that those guys had to drive all the equipment across.
Stadium, Benton Field.
Okay,
there you go.
Free hot dogs. I had to check this one to make sure that today's April Fool's Day. Okay.
Oh, here we go.
But wait. This got nothing to do
Radio
with April Fool's.
guy.
No. April Fool's Day. I read this one last night, and I'm like, man, they jumped the gun. This is April Fool's. But it's not. It's a true story, and you'll understand why. Notre Dame guard Olivia Miles is the consensus number 2 pick in the WNBA draft. Okay, behind Paige Beckers. Okay, she has decided to forego the WNBA draft and enter the transfer portal.
Yeah.
Okay. It's just so backwards from everything we've ever seen. But the deal is, she's going to make more money. She's going to transfer to one of these SEC schools. I mean, it may be LSU. I don't know, but she's going to where the revenue sharing money and the NIL money is greater than what she would get going to the WNBA.
Caitlin Clark would have made more money this year.
Yeah, she would have.
Absolutely,
she would have. She was out of eligibility.
She'd named her price to whatever school she would have. If she put her name in a transfer portal, Charlie.
Caitlin Clark could have transferred.
Right. She would have got paid money on the front. She got endorsements, and she's more visible at Iowa than the WNBA.
Yeah, I get it, and I know exactly why Olivia Miles is doing this. okay, after Sunday. Now, Flage's got a unique off-court portfolio because of her music career, so that money's going to be there. Her NIL dollars, or her endorsement dollars, are going to be there for her.
Yeah, I don't think.
Besides basketball,
yeah, I don't think they increase or decrease in any way.
And I agree.
I think they maintain.
So let's say that her endorsements, because of her music career, are the exact same whether she's at LSU or with a WNBA team next year. Let's just talk straight basketball compensation. $76,000 in the WNBA next year. She get more than that at LSU?
Hell. I'm bad at this, but I would think Flage maybe $500,000.
I think she made more than that.
Oh, she did? Okay.
Yeah, she's a draw. I mean, people, she's.
I don't know, Charlie. What does draw a better rating? I mean,
McDonald's deal is a big deal.
Yeah, it is
for her. So I can't definitely tell you that. Endorsement money stays the same. I don't know. She's got to answer that.
That I mean, college baseball's got to benefit the most. Huh? You want to go to everybody is smart. It's made everybody so much smarter.
It's fantastic. I think that these guys that stick around. The portfolio that Flage Johnson has off the court. Okay,
Paige Beckers is fun to watch.
Well, she killed it last night again. The only number one seed, men's or the women's, not to make it because they had Juju Watkins go down. I would love to have seen that game with Watkins in it. USC hung around as long as they could, but
yeah, UConn would have been favored.
Would Juju in the game, you think?
Absolutely. There were 15 without her.
That's right. And
okay,
she was worth 9 points.
About 4 or 5 point favorite.
Yeah. So, all right. No class. Pelicans shut down Zion Williamson and CJ McCollum with injuries. They've got 7 games left in their season. It can't end quick enough, and they probably could have done this. Well, whenever the season's been over since I don't know the middle of January. But we got a grand total now, Jimmy. Zion Williamson, who had, I want to say this up front, lost a bunch of weight, okay, looks in better shape than at any point in his NBA career this season, and averaged 25 points a game in the games that he played 30 games. Between Zion Williamson, who has now missed 258 games and played 214 in his NBA career, he missed 52 games this year. CJ McCollum played 56 games this season. Between Williamson, McCollum, DeJounte Murray, who was hurt twice, Herb Jones, and Trey Murphy. That's your 5 biggest minutes players. We're not going to count Brandon Ingram because he got traded halfway through. It's 410 potential games played, 82 times 5. The Pelicans, top 5 guys, played in 190, 46%, an average of 38 games. This would be one thing if this had just happened this year. Anybody can run into some bad luck. This happens year after year after year after year after year. I mean, certainly. And look, they've changed trainers. They've changed techniques, at least from what I read. They've done this over and over again. And you can't just say, well, Zion's fat, so he gets hurt. Zion was fat and did get hurt a lot. I don't know that that was the case this season for all of these things. And if it was the case for him, it certainly wasn't the case for DeJounte Murray, who had missed on average in his time with the Hawks and the Spurs 8 games a season, which you play 74 games in the NBA now, you're an Iron Man. This was not a problem for Trey Murphy or Herb Jones. CJ McCollum's been a pretty durable player. You know, I realize he's getting older. What the hell, man? And this is across the building, too. The Saints had an unprecedented injury season this past year, okay?
All right, how much is bad luck? How much is just part of the NBA where, okay, some are legitimate injuries and some are where the guys could be playing through a little aches and pains? Because the NBA, we can't act like the Pelicans are immune to this epidemic going on right now where there's a lot of missed games.
The sheer volume more for the Pelicans is what has got my attention.
There's no doubt. I mean, it's you can't expect them to compete with those type of numbers.
No.
I mean, Max and I sat at one of the games. It was a G League game, Murphy, and that was pretty much it. That was it.
All 5 of those guys are out. Okay. Now, I saw DeJounte Murray. I saw both of his injuries. I was watching live both times. Just happened to be watching live both times. He got a broken wrist and he got a torn Achilles. It had nothing to do with anything. Those 2 were bad luck on Murray. All right. The rest of these things, I don't know.
I like to distinguish between the two New Orleans professional franchises. Okay. And I think that Griffin has done some good. You don't get credit for winning the lottery. I'm sorry.
No.
You know, as far as Davis and Zion. But I think he's had some moves. He's got a track record. I think there's been some bad luck in there as well. I think it's flat out incompetence on the Saints side. Okay, so that's where I want to distinguish. But there's when you have anything is for you, most things are for contributing factors when you get to these extreme numbers.
Yeah.
And one is they ain't playing. They don't really do that. This is the league. They're part of the league, and a lot of players are not playing when they could go. Okay. The other thing is they got some injuries. The other thing is, you know, the 2 Pelicans brothers. Okay, Ingram and Zion. Well, they don't share their food, and one guy is built so frail. He's kind of injury prone, taking a beating. The other guy, well, his God-given frame doesn't allow him for a whole lot of room for error. So those guys are going to be, they're going to deal with that. But the Murray, that's bad luck.
That's bad luck.
That's bad luck.
No,
so you
question.
pile onto that. I mean, you know, McCollum, even at this age, that's bad luck. You know, but these guys are pros that they've tried to play, have a track record of playing as much as they can. When you lose in 2, okay, so there's a lot of different factors, but I don't want to just kill the medical staff.
I don't either, and I'm not qualified. Look, I get the bad luck, okay? But on the football side, guys, McCoy. What the hell? Because nobody else has this volume of Jones was outside the lottery. Missy was outside the lottery. Alvarado was outside the lottery. He hasn't been perfect, but he's brought a real talent upgrade from outside of the lottery or the massive free agent signing, which is largely not available to New Orleans. So I want to be fair with that.
Parball rice, Charlie.
Yeah.
You try and get that restaurant quality rice, and I did it for years, and finally, yes, indeed, I got it. It's been a long road, but I got it now, man. I love boiling my Parball rice from Supreme Rice. It's available in basically all the grocery stores, the Costco's and Walmart's, wherever you get your rice, where you usually see the rice, but it's been about a year or so, and it's just a long grain rice. It's a clean rice. It doesn't have a whole lot of that residue when you boil your rice and you kind of rinse it off, and it's firm. It's really good stuff, man. How can they get their rice like that? I got it now, and I'm not straying away from any other rice. Parball rice for Supreme Rice, and you're supporting Louisiana rice farmers, which is so important.
And of course, they're part of the Climate Smart program. They are promoting water conservation and reducing methane emissions for future generations of those Louisiana farmers. More information, great recipes, go to supremerice.com. Live at lunch from Doe's, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
The Grand Bayou Casino, conveniently located off I-10 at exit 139 in Gross-Ted, offers the latest video poker machines 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Got a great staff at the Grand Bayou Casino. Our inviting staff will greet you with complimentary coffee and sodas as you enjoy listening to the curated tunes in our comfortable seating. Make the trip to the Grand Bayou Casino, where players are welcome. The Grand Bayou Casino, I-10 at the Gross-Ted exit. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, call 1-877-770-STOP. The Grand Bayou Casino. Congratulations are in order for one of my favorite places to eat, Snow's Seafood and Steaks, celebrating its 50th anniversary. That's right, since 1971, Snow's has been serving a wide assortment of menu items to please everyone. Steaks, seafood, gumbo, homemade soup, salad, specialty cocktails, great wine selection, and oh yes, the best white chocolate bread pudding that you'll find anywhere. It's the total dining experience. Happy 50th anniversary to my friends at Snow's Seafood and Steak, Airline Highway at Highway 74 in Gonzales. By now, you know that we do our show every other Tuesday at the Crown Town Room at Doe's Eat Place. The Crown Town Room is ideal for larger groups, or if you just want to watch the game on one of our 3 large TVs. The tamales are the most popular appetizer, but don't forget the seared tuna with the sriracha glaze for the perfect blend of sweet and spicy. You can't go wrong also with the flash fried oysters or the shrimp. The porterhouse is the perfect steak to share. Strip on one side, filet on the other, prepared at different temps if you like, bone in to maximize flavor. Doe's Eat Place on Government Street, just off Acadian in the heart of Mid-City.
Is your closet organized? Let's face it, most closets are cluttered and a hassle to organize, but that's just because they aren't designed around your specific needs. One Bath & Closets works closely with you to design your space where it makes sense for you and clears the clutter away. From shoe racks, baskets, seasonal storage, mirrors, drawers, cubbies, and doors, One Bath & Closets can make your dream closet a reality. Go with an industry leader in bathroom and now closet remodeling. Visit onebathandclosets.com to sign up for a free in-home consultation. That's onebathandclosets.com.
This hour of Live at Lunch with Ott and Hanny is brought to you by Dana Brown at the law offices of O.C. Brown, 343-1111 and ocbrown.com. Roto-Rooter for all your plumbing needs, 925-8710. Supreme Rice, grown, milled, processed in Louisiana since 1936. United Community Bank, the local way to bank big. Text Morris at Edward Jones Investments on Jefferson Highway, 928-8659. Total Maintenance, your one-stop shop for AC, electrical, generators, and plumbing. Service today, every day for Total Maintenance and Coastal Capital Advisors. Markets evolve. We adapt. The Live at Lunch with Ott and Hanny Restaurant Club. Sammy's Grill on Highland Road. A hometown favorite for tailgating and watching LSU games since 1988. Louisiana Lanyap on Perkins and Blue Bonnet. Winner of the most 225's Best of Awards. Snow Seafood and Steak for over 50 years on Airline, Highway, and Highway 74 in Gonzales. Dozy Place for hand-cut steaks on Government Street and Mid-City. Louis Cafe, a Baton Rouge landmark since 1941. Just outside the north gates of LSU. Finn Bomb, sushi, burrito, poke, ramen at Burbank and Lee. And Phil's Oyster Bar since 1950 on Government Street to now in the South Downs Shopping Center.
With all of the financial headlines, are you worried if your retirement savings will last? The market's ups and downs can keep you guessing, especially if you're approaching retirement or considering it. If you have more questions and answers about what's next, let's work together to help ensure you're prepared for your journey. After all, retirement isn't the end of the trek, it's a new beginning. Stop by your local Edward Jones advisor. Text Morris on Jefferson. Edward Jones, member SIPC.
104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge. 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge. Live at Lunch with Ott and Hanny from Doe's Eat Place on Government Street on 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
Today's show also brought to you in part by Coastal Capital Advisors, because when it comes to retirement, no two situations are alike. Coastal Capital Advisors will tailor a plan for your family's need, no matter your age or your financial situation. Let Coastal Capital Advisors work for you the way they've worked with me and build that lifetime relationship. For more information, contact Philip Fontenot and his staff, 337-981-1376, or online at the transfer that LSU inked yesterday. Jimmy, you got a chance to
no, let Max go first.
Max has a different opinion before we get a little bit more background
he's done his analytic research, and he's got an opinion.
Go on.
So, De'Don Thomas, everyone's excited about him, and I understand that, but I would just caution that this is not the big fish of this class. At least it shouldn't be if they want to be relevant. I think it's fair to compare this team and the goals of this team in the portal to what Vanderbilt did last year. They went from a very, very poor SEC team. They brought in a new coach, invested some dollars, and basically their whole team was brand new. Their top 6 players all came from the portal, top 7 actually, in production this year. When you look at their advanced rankings of who they actually brought in from the portal, they were top 250 ads in the portal. You had AJ Hogard, who I admittedly thought they overspent on. They reportedly spent $800,000 to bring him in from Michigan State. Not a great player at Michigan State by their standards, but still like relevant in terms of running an offense. He was their point guard. He, was very adequate. He led them in minutes, led them in assists. And so even if you don't hit on everyone, you have to be able to take a big splash like a Hogard. Chris Mannon, who they brought in from Cornell, was a pretty highly touted guy. Didn't really pan out this year. Didn't play all that much. My point here is you're not going to hit on everyone that you bring in. Florida's maybe
transfer portal
made a point of doing that.
Everything, yeah.
But LSU last year, the 3 main guys who contributed this year in the portal, they were all ranked around 500, 600 in terms of overall players in college basketball. And then when they got in the portal, they were ranked, among the portal guys. But let's not forget, 30% three-point shot to, very relevant, 37, 38% this year for LSU, and he drastically improved his ranking. Jordan Sears, though, was one of the more highly touted. He was a top 100 portal ranked player in the class of brought in Jai Bailey. So the three real players that you brought in, you certainly hit on Cam Carter without a doubt. Jai Bailey gave you good minutes. Jordan Sears, maybe you expected a little bit more out of him as your point guard. Dedon Thomas should be the third to fourth best player in this portal class that they're bringing in.
To get to Vanderbilt's
level
this year.
They have to bring in more. Vanderbilt brought in, like I said, so many, but 7 of them were top 275 ranked players in their transfer portal class of last year. Right now, LSU has probably one of them. I don't think Nwoku is actually going to be in that top 275. So Dedon Thomas is basically one of them. And he is pretty much average among those Vanderbilt players in terms of where he'll end up being ranked. So you have to bring in 3 more players, basically, that are probably better than Thomas and a couple back-end guys that you hope to hit on. So Thomas is great. He was a leading points and assists player on an average Mountain West team. I'm just cautioning that just because he was a former 5-star, according to some
what
rankings,
Max is telling us,
you need better players.
Charlie, is that one, there are hits and misses in recruiting, and that fan bases tend to get overly excited about their recruiting prospects.
I agree with Max.
I agree, Max.
I
agree.
Jimmy, I can cite more.
Let's break him down a little bit further. Okay, 6'1", 170. Okay, the thing, he's undersized. Okay, but his assist to turnover ratio wasn't bad. The UNLV was 11-9 in Mountain West Conference play this year. They were middle of the road. He didn't have the best supporting cast. The coach got fired for a reason. Their roster wasn't that good. Here's what but the one that puzzles me about his size, Houston. Out of high school and now Houston, this guy doesn't fit that. You look at Houston's team, not this year, but the last 10 years with Kelvin Sampson. Do they have a lot of undersized guys out there trying to play defense and bang?
No.
That doesn't make sense. Here's from Humans, who knows the league way better than all of us, okay? Here's what he says. A good point guard. Although I started to think we overrated him when the Rebels played well without him at the end of the season. Thomas takes some bad shots and not a great shooter. He's small, not as high on him as I was a year ago, but he's pretty good. Mixed opinions. Okay. So maybe a little bit overrated by some of the interest he got out of high school, but there's still some of those schools are maintaining interest in him. And that's, Max, you'd rather, we're talking about beggars can't be choosy, dude. We're talking about, have you paid? You go to the games, huh?
Sure.
Okay. All right. You know what's funny about this? Look at my damn headset.
Yeah.
Oh, you got it.
Whose headset is that? He's got mine. He's acting like me today.
Well, yes, that's what it is. It's the headsets.
Freaking, you show up late, and this is what we get. Okay, I got the old raggedy headset that Max
usually switch
has.
so I can call this guy the best player of all time.
Well, yes, me. That's flowery.
Yes.
Yes.
Ordinarily, it's Max that's got the positive outlook on basketball, and we're sitting here going, "Are you kidding me?" Listen. You may be exactly right. I trust Humans' evaluation of this kid.
And it's kind of mixed reviews, right?
Yeah. LSU's point guard
but
situation was so bad last year that this can't possibly be anything but a major upgrade. Is this guy going to be, an All-American? No, probably not. But I'm just happy that they're paying attention now. Okay. I almost don't care what he does next year. They outbid Florida and Kentucky for this kid. They had to have, because if Florida and Kentucky offered him anything, those are better programs.
And that could be a mistake because they could have overpaid, paid too much of their budget for it.
I don't know.
Well, but Charlie, you're always, what's he cost? It's a finite number they're dealing with.
There is. So I want to see what it looks like at the end. They're bringing in the Simpkins kids from Elon today. I don't think they're brothers. They're twins. Okay. Yeah. And both of these kids were good players for Elon. They're bigger guards. They're 6'4" and 6'5" guards. I want to see what this class looks like at the end. But even if it just gets them to 6 and 12 in the conference, at least they are paying attention. At least they are giving something back to the basketball program that they have I'm sorry. virtually ignored, okay, for the last 3 seasons as an administration.
It's still weak.
It's
name me another sport that's weaker as far as ranking the conference with their budget.
None.
It's last.
None. So I'm looking for baby steps. It's like with the Saints. Ordinarily, I'm honed. I need the Saints to draft this. I want the Saints to draft this. I almost, within reason, don't care what position the Saints draft at the end of the month because they need everything. LSU basketball needs everything. So this kid's a better player than what they got on the roster now. One thing at a time.
He should
man.
be. You can't say that he's not going to be an improved from Sears.
They have not had a true point guard under McMahon.
Yeah.
I mean,
they have struggled
and
at
to
that
compare
position.
Sears and Carter
I
is.
mean-
I understand as far as you're trying to differentiate. You're trying to say Sears came with more. Better shot. Just shoot it. I thought he really fit in LSU's offense perfectly.
I
Which
know
was
it.
absolutely garbage.
Andy Isco. $30.
With another year or two, this guy's got 2 years of experience. God,
LSU went hard after Coleman Hawkins last year. He went to Kansas State.
Yeah.
Ended up.
in a heartbeat.
And they may be short of that right now.